Hey everybody. In case I mention my cat from my last video, this is the one I was talking about. Say hello to Ben, everybody. Say hi, Ben. My Benny buddy. He wants to get out. He's camera shy. Alright, back to you go. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome for today's multi-voice review. Except this time it's not going to be another multi-voice. This one I'm going to be doing the multi-cast. I thought he should play that guy. And the one I'm going to be talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is, of course, this one I did mention on my James Gunn DC universe. And it is. Now, here's a little something I need to correct myself. I knew I kind of goofed up. I mean, I said Michael Keaton as Superman. I meant Michael Keaton as Batman. And, of course, another thing I did goof up, I said that the DCU, I meant the MCU, who used Josh Brolin not only as Cable, but also Thanos. So now, since I got those corrected now, time for me to talk about my thoughts on who should play who on the Green Lantern the Green Lanterns movie. I don't know if it's going to be made as a movie or a TV show, but I do see a lot of potential in it. After all, since James Gunn did a damn good job on Guardians of the Galaxy, I think it's time that James Gunn has the same thing on the Green Lantern. I mean, even though I did mention I wish they have Adam Strange and also Captain Comet, but this one I'm going to be this one I'm going to be focusing on the main characters. Now, this one's going to be focusing on Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. Now, the only actor who I think should play Hal Jordan should be none other than Nathan Fillion. Now, I know how some of you are saying, wait, did Nathan Fillion appeared in Suicide Squad 2? Yeah, but like I said, since the MCU had Josh Brolin play Cable and Thanos, why not that they have Nathan Fillion not only play that character on Suicide Squad 2, where he can pull out his arms and move them about. I think James Gunn should give Nathan Fillion a chance to play Hal Jordan. I know he might be getting old, but I mean, heck, Hal Jordan's got to be old by now. And of course, I knew that Nathan Fillion, he did do the voice of Hal Jordan in that animated movie, Green Lantern Emerald Knights. And that's who I think should be playing Green Lantern, Nathan Fillion. And if you don't believe me, watch him on Firefly and Serenity. And I already reviewed Firefly and Serenity. And he did an outstanding job. Or just watch him on Castle. Even though Castle did a sort of a Firefly reference where he said he's wearing that old costume that he wore from Firefly, and he says that he's dressing up as a space cowboy. My chair's been acting weird. But anyway, now let's get to the other character, Jon Stewart. Now, Jon Stewart, he has a bit of a dark past and does act a little grumpy, but he does, but sooner or later you get to know him better. He becomes very trustworthy and dependable. And the only actor I think who'd be perfect to play Jon Stewart is none other than Michael Jai White. Now, why do I choose Michael Jai White? Because, I mean, I know that he played a gangster bad guy in the Dark Knight, but bear in mind he was killed by Heath Ledger Joker. and it's not part of the universe, so forget that. And I also heard that he did appeared in a couple of, he did the voice of one character on the animated movie, and also, he did make an appearance in a couple of in the DC cinematic franchise. But I think it's time for him to play John Stewart. And after all, he did play John Stewart in the video game that I have, Justice League Heroes. Now, out of all the Justice League video games, I do enjoy Justice League Heroes because it was a pretty damn good video game I ever had on the PlayStation 2. Now, let's focus more on the other characters who I think should be in it, and I did mention this before, but I would repeat myself on this. They should have Simon Bass and Jessica Cruz. Yeah, Simon Bass, the first Muslim, and Jessica Cruz, the first Hispanic woman who is a Green Lantern member. Now, I had a really crazy idea. If they're going to have them in the movie, my thoughts should it be who should play Simon Bass and Jessica Cruz would be none other than Jason Mantzoukas and Stephanie Beatriz. Now, why do I choose these two? Because I've seen them in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And I do enjoy Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And, my buddy Benny wants to get out again. Alright, here you go, Ben. Watch your tail. Cats have a mind of their own, right? Anyway, I loved him in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I thought Jason did a pretty good job. And the reason why I chose him, I didn't know he was Greek, but I thought there's something exotic about him, so I thought he would be good playing Simon Bass. And why I picked Stephanie Beatriz, I love her in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I love the lines she says and such. I thought you said you hate your parents. Hey, I'm a badass, not an anarchist. Plans are plans. And I know they're kind of basing her out of that lovely Michelle Rodriguez, which I have heard back then they were planning to have Michelle Rodriguez play Jessica Cruz, and one of the news people walk up to her and ask her what she think about her being in Green Lantern. And she said they need to start changing their own characters. Making their own characters and quit changing the originals. Well, I see her point of view. She's talking about that we need to stop changing our characters that we all know and love, and start creating their own characters with different ethnicities. She's talking about having. You know how we are with whitewashing, right? We always have an Asian character, and they're always been played by white actors. And of course, the same thing goes with white characters who are played by black actors. And of course, I see exactly what she's getting at, because she would think that she would be a Hispanic female version of Hal Jordan. But she never read a comic book in her life, so she doesn't even know exactly what they were talking about. So that's exactly what they're talking about. But me, I know what they're talking about, and I think Stephanie Beatriz should be perfect to play Jessica Cruz, and Jason Mantzoukas should play Simon Bass. And I know those guys are comedians, but here's one thing I know. Funny comedians are really good starring in dramatic movies. Take a look at Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton started out as a comedian before he started appearing in a bunch of dramas. I mean, he kind of sort of washing off his comedic side and bringing more of the drama side. I mean, take a look at Leslie Nielsen. He started out as a comedian. I mean, not a comedian. He started out as a drama actor, but the problem was he couldn't catch a break with his dramatic roles. So when they gave him a part in an Airplane, that's when his comedic side started to shine, and he became more popular as a comedian than he was a dramatic actor. Now, here's another character I think they should have. I mean, I know that the Green Lantern, they're intergalactic police officers, and I can't think of any characters who would play the alien characters, but the human characters, well, here's another character I think they should have. Maybe as a cameo, or maybe a side character, along with Simon Bass and Jessica Cruz, is, of course, Alan Scott. No, not that Alan Scott from the Golden Age Earth 1. Alan Scott from Earth 2, the gay one. Yeah, I mean, the original Alan Scott was the Golden Age version, who is straight, just like everybody else in the Golden Age on Earth 1. The Alan Scott from Earth 2 became the first Green Lantern who come out as gay. And who I think should be playing Alan Scott. Now, I know I'm chosen another comedian, but like I said, comedians do work well in drama. I mean, most funny comedians can be so dramatic. And the only actor who I think should be playing Alan Scott is none other than Jack Plotnick. Now, I've seen Jack Plotnick in Girls Will Be Girls. That was a really funny movie, bar none. And I also saw him in a couple of episodes of Reno 911 and tons of other movies and TV shows. I mean, I know from real life he is gay, but he's also very funny, and he can play one character to the next. And I think he will be very perfect to play Alan Scott, the first gay Green Lantern from Earth 2. I know this video is really short, but this is my sense of what I'm going to say and what I'm telling you guys. And I know this is pretty early for me to do this, but I just have a lot of thoughts about the Green Lantern side because I think it's time. I mean, since the Marvel Universe is now opening to the cosmic science fiction space side of the superhero universe, I think it's time that the Green Lantern should too. And please do not hire back Ryan Reynolds, because, I mean, Ryan Reynolds himself regrets playing Hal Jordan in the Green Lantern movie, and of course, the movie itself bombed pretty bad, and Ryan Reynolds wasn't good enough. Make the super suit green, but not animated. Well, animated from the ring and everything, but that's it. And not Jack Black. Yes, I've heard they were planning to make a Green Lantern movie starring Jack Black, but the story was he was just a made-up character who found a ring, and it chose him to be the Green Lantern, but he acts irresponsible and stupid. And what stopped that movie? Us, the fans. So, please to God, don't make the one with Jack Black in it. So, skadoosh. Anyway, this is my casting choice of today. If any of you agree with me who should be playing who, please leave a comment down below. Whoever disagrees with me, just ignore me. And hit like and subscribe for more. And like I said, I I did mention in my last review, I said I'm going to review Mystery Man, and that's going to be my next review for this next week. So stay tuned, and I'm the multi-voice caster. I remember it so I can jog your memory.